Well, good morning, Corona, and we're so excited that you're here. And this is like herding cats today. So I want to show a quick little video, and I want to encourage any of you that are thinking that you'd like to serve on our board of directors, kind of watch this real quick. 1 second, okay. Well, we got your attention, that's good. Be sure to get through the line, get your food, then get a seat. We want to have the program start right away. So the applications are being accepted through today, September 10th. These are some of our award-winning board members, people that are just like you, business owners, people that want to have fun, people that want to get back to our community and do the wow factor for the business community. Each and every one of these people take time out of their busy schedule. If you're interested in serving on the board, please download the application and complete it. Email it to Desiree@mychamber.org. So in order to stay on task this morning, I'm going to go ahead and start. I'm going to ask if I could have everyone just kind of keep their conversations like cease. Excellent. Well, good morning. This is Corona Chamber's monthly membership and networking meeting. I loved walking into the property today and saw that beautiful American flag displayed by the Corona firefighters. Let's give them a round of applause. So that was a good practice, but we want to make sure that we show our love and respect for our public servants. So the flag was presented by the Corona Fire Department. Let's show our love for them. A lot more, let's show our love for them. And when we get to the police, remember they have guns. So you want to definitely make sure that you show your love for them as well. In a few minutes, we will be honoring our first responders, but at this time, I'd like to have everyone just applaud the Corona Police and the Corona firefighters. Thank you. So we're excited to celebrate this with the first responders today. We have a lot of different things going on. For those of you that are the first time attendees to a Good Morning Corona breakfast, if you could please stand, we'd like to acknowledge anyone that this is their first time to our event. Thank you. First time attendees. Excellent. Welcome. The Corona Chamber also offers a variety of other programs, weekly calls, monthly seminars, special training, and more. The Corona Chamber remains to be the resource for prosperity. We're very fortunate to live in the United States and be able to gather here and share wisdom, insight, and creative vision. To allow us to pray and to say the pledge, those are very special freedoms that we have. At this time, it's a great deal of pleasure that I welcome the Corona Police Honor Guard. Ask you all to rise. Please remain standing as our County Supervisor Karen Spiegel will lead us in the Pledge of Allegiance. Honor Guard.
Hold. What? Wait. Wait. Oh.
So as you may witness this past month, we've had some horrific losses to our community and the nation. The center table back there is reserved for 13 seats of servicemen and women who tragically were killed in Afghanistan. We'd like to take a moment of silence to show our respect for these 13 individuals, their families, and our grateful nation of America. with a moment of silence. Thank you. For the Pledge of Allegiance, please welcome Supervisor Karen Speed.
Please join with me in the 31 words that we recite, but this time let's feel them. It's not a piece of fabric that we're looking at. It is the history of our country, the 13 stripes, the 13 colonies that began our country. The 50 stars are to be for us to be united, 50 states. Red is for the hardships and the valor. White is for the innocence and the purity. Blue is for the perseverance and justice. It all has meaning. Soak in the meaning and join with me. I pledge allegiance
To the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
I got detail. Oh, on. Right, see? Oh.
Let's give a thanks to the Corona Police Honor Guard. I did want to mention that the 3 local boys that we lost are at the end of that table there. Kareem is at the head of the table so that I can have eye contact there. Kareem is coming home next Friday, September 17th, between 2 and 4. We're going to get all the details to you as they get fine-tuned. But we would love to show the family in America and the world just how much our community loves this nation and has respect for our servicemen and women. If you could help with American flags and line the streets, that would be awesome. We'd be so honored to do that. Thank you all, and may God continue to bless America. It is my honor to be the MC today. We have a very special week. We'll be honoring 2 public safety departments, Corona Police and Corona Fire. Tomorrow, in partnership with the City of Corona, we will be holding the 20th anniversary of the 9/11 event. You know, 20 years ago, these United States came under attack on our own soil. Today and tomorrow's events are not to put blame, but to honor and respect a pledge that we made. That pledge was never to forget. We will honor, like today, the men and women who are our heroes that work diligently against all odds to save lives. On September 11, 2001, the Corona Chamber was having a quarterly luncheon, and we were giving out some awards that day. One of those people is still here actively working the room and helping us, and that's Jim Dorsey Photography. And I don't know where he's at. There you are, Jimmy. Thank you. And I recall September 12, 2001 like it was yesterday. Everyone gathered as Americans. There was no color of skin, no race. Religions worked side by side, and definitely no politics. Now I pray that after these events of today and tomorrow, that perhaps Corona can set the example of how we should be, to be together as Americans, focused on helping one another instead of tearing people down. So tomorrow, we will be placing 2,977 American flags on the 6th Street property of the Corona Historic Civic Center lawn. And boy, I didn't realize how many flags those were when I first came up with this idea. I could totally use some help. Each flag, we have the name of whoever, the person that perished and where they perished, whether it was on an airplane, whether it was the Pentagon, World Trade Center, or, you know, so we have it all listed. Each flag will have a name. We could use help putting those cards on each of the flags between 10 o'clock today and 5 o'clock at the chamber. So if any of you are available to help, please come on down and help. And then tomorrow morning at 7 in the morning, we want to start putting those flags in the ground. And I do want them straight, and I want them to look proper. So we could definitely use as many people as possible. If we have 30 people doing it, it would be 100 flags each, and that could be doable in about an hour and a half. But if we had 100 people, then it's 30 flags. So this would be great for a family event. This would be great for a team building for your office. We'd love to have that. Mark Mays, could you please stand? If any of you could help tonight laying out the grid. Where's Mark at? Mark, there you are. Wave your hand. Please see him if you can help him tonight. We want to put the grid so that it's going to be easy for you to put the flags in. And if you have screwdrivers or a hammer or whatever to help, we want to put a hole in and then be able to poke the flag in there and do it properly. And then, of course, to sponsor the event, if you would like to sponsor, there's forms on there. It is a free event, but if there is any way that anyone can contribute some funds, we greatly appreciate it. You can text me at 951-733-1836, and I'll be here through the meeting. You can see me right afterwards. So at each table, we have signs with a list of upcoming events and a QR code to scan and learn more. We want you to kind of tie into our mobile app and post on social networking channels using the hashtag Corona Chamber. And I'd like you to pull your cell phones out now, take a selfie, take a picture of the table there, your table, whatever you want to do. I'm going to give you 20 seconds to do this, and then hashtag Corona Chamber. And then someone's going to win $100 at the end of this meeting for whoever gets a post up there, and then we're going to randomly select. So get the social media going, and let's get going on that. 20 seconds. Thank you, guys. Okay. So as with any event, sponsorships are key. And today we have two phenomenal businesses that outreach and sponsor the event. So the first sponsor is Citrus Valley Medical Associates, and the second sponsor is Corona Light Services. Let's give them a round of applause. Since our program is so jam-packed, I will be announcing who's on deck, meaning that person needs to come up to my right, your left, over here, as soon as I say you're on deck. So as an example, Corona Light Services, you're on deck. So you could be coming on over here. All of our special guests, all of you here today are special guests. Give yourselves a round of applause for being here. Wow, it's really weak. Okay, guys, I'm not going to continue unless we get some fun and energy in here. So if you're excited to be here, I want you to like stand up, cheer, say how great it is to be here. Woo! So we already introduced the people that were first time to Good Morning Corona. I'd like to acknowledge some of our elected officials that carved time out of their schedule to be here. The mayor of the city of Corona, Jackie Casillas. Councilmember Jim Steiner. Councilmember Tony Daddario. Councilmember Tom Richens. Vice Mayor Wes Steve. We have 5 elected city council members, and all 5 are here today. Give them a round of applause. Former Mayor for the city of Corona, Eugene Montanez. Police Chief Bob Newman. Brian Young. Corona Norco School Board Trustee Board President Bill Pollock. Western Municipal Water District, this is Division 5, Fazio Christie. Dr. Monica Green, President of Norco College. And the most important one in my life, County Supervisor for the Riverside County Board of Supervisors, Karen Spiegel. So I don't know if I shared with you, but I am so excited to have the best job ever. 20 years ago, May 11th, I started. 20 years ago, May 11th, 2001, I started this position as president and CEO. And there's not a day that goes by that's a duplicate. It's not boring. In fact, I get the opportunity to work with some tremendous leaders. For all the board members, people that serve on our board of directors for the Chamber of Commerce, could you please stand right now? Do not be shy, but please stand so that we can show our love and appreciation for our. They are amazing, very dedicated and committed to help the business community. I'm also very fortunate to work with a dynamic professional staff. We've got a couple of new staff members that I want to take the opportunity for all of you to get to know. First is Jenna Sanchez, and she is a retention specialist. Where's Jenna? She's in the back waiting. And Carly is marketing and sponsorship specialist. So a couple of people that are unable to be here today is Betty Sheeran. She is our bookkeeping and accounting, and also Tricia Yance, my assistant, and she's unable to be here. But joining us is Andrew Creed, communications specialist, right up front, and Anthony Maldonado, program coordinator, back there. Robert Garnett, membership development coordinator. Desiree Ramirez, vice president of operations and membership. And Vice President of Communications, Programming, and Events. This event would not have been done without the leadership of this lady here. Please give a round of applause to Stephanie Shapiro. Well, recently we had a Angels game, and a lot of people went to that, and a lot of people decided they wanted to help sell some tickets. And we had 2 nonprofits that stepped forward and sold tickets, and we got checks for them, and I just want to acknowledge them publicly to all of you. And today it's the YMCA and ABC folks. They went out and sold tickets for us, and thank you for that. Our first sponsor for today's Good Morning Corona is Corona Life Services. They will be sharing many things about their organization, and I am so pleased that as a nonprofit that they're so involved in our community, in the business community, and working with other nonprofits. They are amazing. They've got a mission and just a loving presence about them. I'm not going to take anything away from them because they've got their time to share, but please welcome their executive director, Lisa Lindros.
Thank you so much, Bobby. I want to thank the many people in this room who serve our country. As the daughter of a U.S. Air Force pilot and Los Angeles Sheriff Department Sheriff, I'm super grateful, deeply grateful for your service. We pray for you, we honor you, and you make our community great. So thank you, Bobby. Many people in this room have served on our organization, and currently we have some board members at our table right here, Michelle Book, Dean Safe, and we also have Robbie Nelson, who we'll be hearing from in a moment, and I just want to thank you for your dedication to our organization. We have been around for 23 years, and we are all about community, all about family, and all about sharing love, so I appreciate you mentioning that. Next slide. Sorry, I just been told that you're going to hear next slide a lot. Oh, there we go. Next slide, please. The batteries are out. So I'm gonna share with you a little bit about some of the updates. We've grown quite a bit in the last 23 years. In the past couple of years, we've grown a lot, thanks to you. And so I want to share a couple of people that have been deeply impacted by our organization, by our work. by what we do. So I'm just gonna go straight ahead. Nancy Princeton is our clinic manager. She'll be sharing with you before the end of the presentation. Welcome, Nancy. So Paige was one of our clients, so go ahead and inspire it.
I live in Eastwell, California, and I live with my grandparents, my mother, and my siblings. I think that growing up, I just had like a great childhood. My mom was like very good to me, and my dad was good too, and my grandparents did everything for us. I had a great family growing up. When I was 12 years old, I got a boyfriend, and I was with him for like 2.5 years, and we got pregnant. Like I didn't think I was ready at all, and I was not thinking what I did before. I was like, wow, like I really should have thought about what I was doing. And it was just like a lot going on. I felt like I wasn't even able to like help myself with anything I was doing. When I found out I was pregnant, I called into Crown Life and set up an appointment to go see if I was really pregnant or if it was just a pregnancy test was wrong. And they told me that I was pregnant and I came up instantly. So I sat there and I was like, wow, this is really real. And they sat down and talked to me, and I watched videos on every option I can do. I was more on the edge of like, I don't know if I want to like have a baby by myself. I don't think I can do it for myself because I am 14 at the time. It was just like me that going through my head, and I just didn't know what I was gonna do with school and like my life. I thought that like my life was over. I came in for my second ultrasound, and I was very nervous. And at that time, I was so far in that you could hear the heartbeat, and I was just really nervous. I didn't know what it was going to be like. And I remember sitting there, and they started doing it, and then I heard the heartbeat, and I started like crying. It was just crazy. And then from that second, like I feel like this is my baby, like I'm gonna keep him. Rome definitely is a very good baby. I feel like I was very blessed. I thought I would wake up to like, a crying baby all night or a baby that's always going to the bathroom, smelling diapers, but that's not really how it is. I feel like people explain it like that, but it's really not like that. Once you're a parent, you see it really different. It's just like another type of feeling when you have a baby. It makes you feel like it's just a whole new world. I just want to say a big thank you to Criminal Life Services. You guys definitely pushed me in a way to save my child's life. You helped me learn how to be a parent with your parenting classes. The world was telling me that my life was over, but I knew how to take responsibility.
Thank you. A lot of times we think about the woman's side of the story, but we don't often think about the man's side of the story. So we have the privilege of listening to a gentleman who's in our midst. So go ahead, take it away.
I'd like to just share with you a story about me personally, where I feel I got promoted from dad to grandpa. And it wasn't the exact ideal of what I wanted. I always wanted my children to be married and then have children. But 11 years and 2 months ago, that wasn't the case. But what a beautiful, beautiful outreach and an outcome that I have. I can't picture a day in my mind that I could replace in the last 11 plus years without this little guy in my life. I know that perhaps right now you're struggling. You're trying to make decisions on what to do. There is hope, and there's an organization called Criminal Life Services that can help you. Your mom and dad may not be really happy with the decision that you're expecting a child right now, but that will pass, trust me. As soon as I found out my daughter was pregnant, I was not the happiest person around, but that all changed. And again, I'm going to just share something that our family recites on a regular basis. It's a short little poem, and it goes like this. The purpose in life is not just to be happy. The purpose in life is to have mattered. To have mattered whether or not you ever existed on the face of this earth at all is vastly more important than the temporary or egotistical illusion called happiness. As soon as that baby is born, I can almost guarantee that your parents will embrace this little soul, this gift from God. God planted this baby in you for a reason. And the group here at Corona Life Services will help you get through the pregnancy and beyond. Remember, the purpose in life is not just to be happy. The purpose in life is to have mattered. God bless you, and God bless the people that work with Corona Life Services.
Thank you.
The purpose in life is not just to be happy. Deserves a standing ovation. The purpose in life is not just to be happy. The purpose in life is to have matter. A lot of you matter in this room. We all matter. But can we just agree on one thing, that there are many young women and men in this community who don't have the same thing that Bobby was able to provide, and that's why we exist. That's what we do every day, is we welcome these individuals who need that support, who deserve that support, and who don't know where to find it. So that's what we're all about. So I'm gonna just very briefly touch on our history and a few of our programs, but I would like feel free to consider, when you think about how would you like to matter in your life? Perhaps something will touch your heart today. Give us a call. Come on down to 63 Main Street and serve with us. There are many opportunities to serve on our board as a volunteer. We have an event coming up. Many of you already do that, but I'm calling each one of you to step out and be there for the young women and the men in our community who deserve us and who need us, and who will benefit from our love. So just briefly, we're founded in 1998. We do act as a community health clinic. All of our services are free, and we are involved in medical services. We provide limited obstetrical ultrasounds, pregnancy tests, and also we are involved in education in the community. We work with young people, and we equip women, men, youth, and families for leadership development and family-led education. Next slide. I mentioned some of our wonderful board members. Thank you so much for your service, and also Jason Perez, thank you for your former service on board. Next slide, please. We serve primarily a very low income demographic. Approximately 80% of our clients are very low income and are from our local community. We serve approximately 2.5 million people in our Southern California area, so we're the only pregnancy center that is no cost that serves that number of people. Next slide, please. Next slide. I'll just get all the way towards the end. We've kind of really touched on a number of these things in the video. Next slide. Okay. And if you could just fire up this final video. This is an event that we have on October 2nd. It will be at Lee B. Pollard High School. Would love to welcome you. It's a family-friendly event. It's super fun. And the community comes out. Last year we had 900 people, so we'd love to top that this year with 1,000. And so we can register at coronawalk.org. Thank you so much for your service, and thank you for investing in us. Come see us at the back table.
Thank you. Let's give it up for Corona Life Services. On deck is Robert Yanez with our new chamber members from the month of August. You can all line up now, go over to this side, my right, your left. As we are creating mission this year at Every Good Morning Corona, this year we've partnered with Gary E. Knight with VEK Impact. He's a business coach, a trainer, an author, and a dear friend. He serves on our board of directors, and he works with executive leaders and teams in the healthcare industry, in municipalities, county government, public sector agencies, Fortune 500 companies, and yes, small businesses right here in Corona, California. Please watch his inspirational message right now.
Hey, what's up, my friend? Listen, my name is Barry E. I'm founder and CEO of BBK Impact Company. I'm glad to share this leadership moment with you. I want to talk about the leadership principles I love talking about vision, but I want to break it down into 3 topics. And if you're taking notes, I want you to take copious notes. I promise you, this is going to transform how you show up as a leader every day. It's going to build and grow you in your confidence as well. So the first thing I want you to know, and even write down, is the fact of the greatest power of a leader. The leader's greatest power. Let's talk about that. The leader's greatest power is his or her ability to have a clear vision. You cannot move your organization or whatever the project you're working on. It cannot go any further than your clarity of what you want to see and what you're trying to solve. So in order for people to get on board, your team to really rally around that vision, it just must be clear. Number one, you must be clear on the vision. Hey, I'm starting a business. Great. What are you going to do with the business? I'm not sure. I'm just going to start it. Well, it kind of helps to have some type of clarity on what you're trying to do and what you hope to solve. So again, the leader's greatest power, your greatest power, most ultimate power, is the ability to have a clear vision. The second thing, the leader's greatest skill by far is to be able to communicate your vision clearly so that it inspires, it engages, and it empowers those that you lead and serve. If you have a hard time getting people on board and it seems like people just, run-of-the-mill type of employees, no motivation, they're not really wanting to do more or give more. Don't really start to do all these personality tests and, disc profile, Myers-Briggs. Those are great, don't get me wrong. But start to really look at yourself, ask yourself, have I been communicating the vision clearly? Do I have clarity? Go back to the first one, right? Do I have clarity on the vision, what I want to see, and what we're going to solve by manifesting this vision? So again, the leader's greatest power, your most powerful force, is having a clear vision. Your greatest skill is the ability to communicate that vision with clarity, or communicate it clearly so that it engages, it inspires, and it empowers others. Now, you think about some of the presidents that we've loved or liked rather over the past few years or in your lifetime. No names, just the ones that grab your attention. It's because they gave you a clear vision, they were confident about it, right? And it inspired you, it engaged you, and then it empowered you. You saw yourself becoming greater in their vision. That's the power of that greatest skill, is being able to communicate your vision so that it inspires the people you lead and serve, or it engages them and then it empowers them. It gets them going, it causes them to rally around your vision. Now, I gave you the two, I'm going to give you the third. It's very important. And this is where, in my experience as a leadership coach, many leaders, they either succeed or they fail by this last, probably the most important. I can't say it's the only important because both of them are important, the ones I've mentioned before. But without this one, you definitely can't succeed as a leader in your business, your organization that you're leading. It won't grow past this one. Are you ready? Are you ready to write it down? Are you sure? Okay, because it's going to transform your leadership and your life. The leader's number one job is to make timely decisions. My friend, you're one decision away from taking your company, your business, your idea to the next level. You're one decision away from getting that multi-million-dollar round one seed funding or whatever the case that you're looking for, right? You're one decision away. And where we are in life, where you are right now, whether it's personal or professional, is basically a sum total of all the decisions that you've made or have not made yet in your life. So as I end this talk with you, I want you to ask yourself, what is the one decision that I have not made. But if I made it, it would transform everything in my life and in my leadership. Some of you all are dealing with a lot of pain. It's like, this is hard, Barry, to make this decision. I don't know what to do. So let me ask you, I want to be your coach and put you on my coaching hat right now. If you remove the pain from this decision, what would you do? If there was pleasure and fulfillment, making the decision actually was exciting, what decision did you make? There's no more pain involved. What would you do so that your organization, your team, your clients, customers, those that you serve would thrive and go to the next level? The leader's greatest force, most powerful force, is having a clear vision, clarity of your vision. Then a leader's greatest skill is the ability to communicate that vision so that it inspires, it empowers, and it engages those that you lead and serve. You have to communicate it clearly. Last, the leader's number one job, your greatest job, is to make timely decisions. Don't ever forget it. You will change your organization. You will take it to the next level fast, immediately, faster than what you've ever imagined. You will move it forward. I promise you. My friend, my name is Barry E. I'm a student, and I was created to serve you. 2 years.
Thank you, Barry. So let's give him a round of applause. He goes out here for amazing nuggets. Next will be our chair of our Women's Leadership Conference. She's the co-chair, Angie Byers, on deck. And these next people that we've got coming up here totally made the number one decision to move their business forward by joining the chamber. It's a pleasure for me to welcome, first of all, our chair for 2021. Please welcome Kim Maybon, our board chair. Coordinator from the chamber, who will announce and introduce our new members from office. Robert.
Our members make up this chamber, and we'd like to take a few minutes to highlight some of them today. These new members have been invited to the mic to share a 30-second intro about their business. If they start to go over, TJ will play this sound. There you go. That means your time is up. And we encourage you to meet them all today after the event is over. Now we'll introduce them one at a time. Not all can join us live today, but we want to acknowledge all of them and welcome them to the chamber. After exiting the stage, please stop and pose for a picture with our board chair, Kim Maybon. Our first member is Blue Miss CBD. Give a round of applause.
My name is Erin. I'm the founder and owner of Blue Miss CBD, the all-natural CBD brand for everyday use. This company was founded based on my grandmother's pain relief. She suffered from diabetes, swollen ankles, and the I created one just for her. I started it so she would be able to use it every day, happily, instead of filling with the medicine. It was perfect. So please check out my website. Any questions, please let me know. Thank you so much.
Calvin Wide Distribution. Circle MFT.
Circle focuses on your technology so you can focus on your growth. Whether you want to reduce sound costs like printing, phone, or internet service, whether you want to make sure that your internal systems are up to snuff in terms of cybersecurity, or you want to go paperless by going to the cloud and replacing your physical file and cabinet in a virtual document management system, the Circle delivers. Please see me afterwards to schedule an introductory appointments. God bless.
My name is the owner of the By Night Studio. We are a Corona-based business located here locally for the past 10 years. We specialize in multimedia services, photography, videography, and modern luxury photo booths. So we are preferred vendors at many local venues, including the England here. So what we offer is a fun entertainment for your guests, as well as a great way to market your business. So we collect that contact information, and we also mark their photos with your business logo, as well as logos of sponsors and other important information. So if you want to elevate your events, feel free to contact us at vinelandstudios.com.
Creation. Al's Grill.
Good morning, my name is Lawrence Williams. I am the owner and the chef of Al's Grill. I'm an intermittent home chef located here in Corona, and I love what I do. Basically, a year ago, I started my business rather, and it was a hobby. It really started off as a hobby, and it just took me to where I am today. So I'm thankful to be here. I look forward to serving you guys. It's pretty simple.
Recycling.
Good morning, Corona, and thank you to our audience members for your time. And your dedication. My name is Miguel Alford, and I'm from M&J Pallet Recycling. We are a full-service pallet company. We offer new and used pallets and also heat treatment for any international deliveries or any pharmaceutical food companies that also may use that. We recycle, and we are here in Corona. Hopefully soon, we're going through entitlement, but we do have a facility in Chino to serve you now if you guys have any immediate needs. Thank you.
Now, Marketplace. Give it a run.
Good morning. I want to thank you so much for having us here. And my name is Adam. This is my wife, Rebecca. And we're the owners of nowmarketplace.com. And we are a toys and collectibles store. But we go to swap meets and we sell like various other home goods. So come check us out, nowmarketplace.com.
Porterville Care, Smith Law Offices, Camp Transformation Center, Corona.
Morning. We are so honored to be here. I'm Brittany Chico. This is my husband, Daniel Chico. We had the opportunity to purchase the Camp Transformation Center last year. My husband's been with the Riverside Sheriff's Department for 15 years. So we're so excited to now be serving the community of Corona. We're a HIT training facility, and we focus on empowering our community through health and fitness. So we are located at the Vaughn Shopping Center off Magnolia, 315 Magnolia Avenue. So come in and get a free workout, right?
The Haley Company, Traditional Corona.
My name is Arthur Randy, in-house attorney for Traditional Corona, soon to be Traditional Corona. On behalf of the parents, Amanda, James, and Richard, our CFO here, I want to just say thank you. Thank you for having us. I want to give a huge thank you to Robert and Desiree where they're at. Robert. These guys are treasures. They came to our facility yesterday. They took a tour. They really understand this industry. They understand what we're about. We're a cannabis company. We're hoping to bring our successful vertically integrated cannabis company to Corona right off the road. It is what it is. Thank you so much for having us. We plan to contribute quite a bit in the city. When we're selected. We're done. Community benefits. Thank you all. We're here on that.
and longevity. Thank you and welcome to the Chamber family.
Awesome job, Robert. Thank you so much. Angie Byers, come on up here. So this is the University of Florida Conference for Riverside County, and all women should be applauding like this part of the committee. You just break this microphone. Okay, go ahead.
So good morning, as Bobby said, I'm Angie Byers, I'm one of the co-chairs for the 10th Annual Riverside County Women's Leadership Conference, which is coming up on September 30th here in Corona at Crossroads Church. We're gonna have a fun half-day morning, we're gonna have breakfast, half-day, with a morning of breakfast, networking, exhibitors. We're gonna have 10 speakers talking on 10 empowering topics. And we'll also hear from our Riverside County Supervisor, Terrence Spiegel, who's the founder of this conference. We're gonna have a health panel, and it's just gonna be a really fun morning. And it's a great team building event, so you can bring your team, enjoy the morning, maybe go out to lunch and share what you learned, and then head back to the office and play it. We have a fun video coming up that's gonna kind of highlight some of our speakers. You can see in the back, we have sponsorship opportunities, exhibitor opportunities, as well as tickets are for sale. We also have some mystery boxes that are for sale. So hope to see you at the event.
We'd like to invite you to the 10th Annual Women's Leadership Conference on September 30th. And here are some of our amazing speakers.
I'm Emily Palapino, and I'm here to inspire. Hi, I'm Dr. Leah Rodriguez, and I will be teaching you how to be resilient.
I'm Diane Callahan, and we'll be talking about how you are beautiful.
I'm Sanji Prince, and my topic is belief.
Kathy Armstrong, and we are tenacious.
I'm Dr. Cassandra Sanders-Holly, and we are going to pursue happiness.
I'm Elizabeth, and I'm going to be sharing my secrets on creating confidence to create anything you want in life.
Ari Robinson, and you need to step up and lead.
We will hope one of this with amazing event. Get your tickets today.
So we have some of the women that are here that are on the committee. Could you please stand? We appreciate you standing. Also to the speakers that are here, and the speakers, if you would stand. And let's give them all, thank you so much for all your hard work. Thank you, Angie. You know, supposed to be up next, I believe, is our Vice President of Operations with the milestone. I forgot to give you a heads up, Desiree, so I'm sorry. Robbie Nelson, you're on deck with Citrus Valley Medical Associates and the Mighty Dogs. So Desiree Ramirez will be coming up here shortly, and she's going to be honoring and recognizing some individuals that have renewed their membership year after year. And on their anniversary of that, whether it's a 5, 10, 15, and so on, we bring them to Good Morning Corona, so all of you can meet them. Desiree? Thank you, God.
We are honored and appreciate the businesses who continue to support our chamber. The longevity of these next members show their dedication to our mission, and they are champions for a stronger community. And we are so grateful to have you as such great business partners. Even if some are not here today, we will still announce their names, and they will, those in attendance will be given a 1 minute speech. To share about their business. Thank you to our elected officials for providing certificates for the following members today. Senator Richard Brock, Supervisor Karen Spiegel, and Mayor Jackie Casillas. After exiting the stage, please pose for the photo with our 2021 Board Chair, Kim Avon. So those celebrating milestones for the chamber today, 5 years is Veg Fresh Farms. Please still clap for them and give them a 10 years with the chamber is Animal Hospital of Eagle Glen. John Rasmussen, CPA.
Get a picture of that.
The chamber Consolidated Electrical Distributors. You guys give it up for this member, 55 years, 55. Older than a lot of people here in this room right now. 55 years with the chamber, Rensselaer and Reed Dentistry. Come on up, Dr. Reed.
Good morning and love, really nice to meet you here. I'm really proud to be part of this organization, to be able to be part of just everything that you have provided for Corona. I'm Dr. Timothy Reed, nice to meet everyone here. We're a general dental office here in Corona. I am part of the Rensselaer family where they have provided general dentistry for Corona and for over 55 years. This to me is actually very exciting and excited to be part of this wonderful team. Thank you very much.
Thank you all for your huge investment into the community and to the Corona Chamber of Commerce.
Thank you, Desiree. Thank you, Dr. Reed. And thank you, all of you. So our next person that's coming on up is our sponsor, but before I go too far, just wanted the fire department to see this because soon as it's been turned to the Corona Police. Okay, fire department tie, okay? So our next sponsor though is the Mighty Gods, and Robbie Nelson represents 3 generations involved in the healthcare institution. Initially founded by his grandfather, the late Dr. Larry Nelson, Citrus Valley Medical Associates, now known as the Mighty Gods, started as an organization of 1 practice, 1 location. They've expanded, and he's going to go through all those numbers, but they serve thousands of patients throughout the region. Here to share more about their operation, their services, and their involvement in the community is Robbie Nelson. Ladies and gentlemen, our sponsor.
Hello, everybody. So when I first got here, I was like, whew, there's a lot of cops here today. I was already kind of nervous, and then the dog came in. Whew. All right, I'm okay. So thank you, everyone. I'm Robbie Nelson, and I'm CEO of Citrus Valley Medical. And I thought about the audience today and the talk I wanted to give, and I thought I'd give a little history, and then Bobby stole my whole thing. So thanks, Bobby. So as Bobby mentioned, the group started in 1964. My grandfather, he opened up an office in Norco and Hammer, just a little doctor's office. Then over the next 30 years, it just grew. It grew and grew until the mid-90s. It was called Circle City Medical Group, if any of you remember that. And in the mid-90s, he sold it. It was a hospital group it was a group that operated hospitals. And but before they sold it, they were really on the cutting edge. They were doing HMOs before anyone else was doing HMOs, and they just had really great leadership. And I kind of remember the stuff when I was like 13, just bits and pieces of it. But eventually it failed. It failed over after the sale for like 2 years. And my grandpa always said, you know, running a hospital or running a clinic, it's just 2 different things. And Martin Kleinbart knows it's just 2 totally separate things. And unfortunately it failed. And my father, who also worked for Circle City Medical Group, he was able to get one of the offices out of bankruptcy court in the late 90s. And it was Norco Medical Group. And that was where I got my start. I was the janitor in high school, and I have a lot of fun tales to tell you about that, but I'll have to wait for another time. And that was where Citrus Valley Medical started. So he was able to go and get some of these docs that had worked for Circle City Medical Group. People like Dr. James Tolston, Dr. Ernesto Pascual, Tracy Doxson, if you remember Tracy, he was one of the original PAs in the country. Even at one point, my grandfather came out of retirement, and he played a huge role in the success of Citrus Valley Medical. Another detail I'll have to save for another time. And then Dad went on to recruit these amazing providers, amazing physicians, people like Dr. Crystal Meadis, Dr. Kim Meinsinger, Dr. Joanna Mashrecki, just to name a few. And the point I wanted to make with you guys is our company has these deep roots, go back decades. And it's like me personally, I grew up in Corona. I went to Lincoln Alternative, I went to Corona Fundamental, graduated from Santiago, and so did my sister, Sarah Nelson, and now she is a nurse practitioner practicing at our newest practice called Circle City Medical Group, named after Grandpa's old practice. And so we always want to keep tying things back to history, to our legacy. And now it's really awesome because now we're becoming this group that even like local talent, they want to come join us. So I want to take a minute to introduce some of these people. And some have been with us a long time, and some are brand new. I'll just go through. So we have Nicole Newman. She raised a family in this town. She's an amazing asset to the company. And great mom, wife, PA, incredible. Bill Pollock. Bill, you guys all know Bill? Bill's been with us for forever too. And you guys know he's on the second term of the CMUSD school board. He's so tied in the community. He's the team doc for Centennial High School. And we support pretty much all of the local high school teams. We're on the sidelines. We have Dr. Renanda Stevenson, nurse practitioner. She's been with us a few years now, and she will be on the panel at the Corona Women's Leadership Conference. Julie Sachs, PA, grew up in Corona, graduated from Santiago High. Now he's PA, working at Norco Medical Group. Great guy. Dr. Tanya Nanny Cara Halper. Her father, Dr. Nanny, he's been an OB in Corona forever. And she grew up in Corona, graduated from Centennial High. And now she's back, seeing patients at Citrus Valley Family Practice. Yep. Oh, drink of water right here. He's our newest addition, Dr. Jazz G. Burke, great guy, great doctor. He also graduated from Santiago High. So you guys know what I'm saying? All these people we're not bringing it outside. We're one of the only groups that are currently actively hiring new physicians. The community is growing. Our PCBs that have been in town forever are starting to hit retirement age. We see that there's got to be a shortage. So we're actively taking on the risk. Corona Regional did a huge assistance with us, helping us recruit and bring people in. So thank you to you guys. And we also have 2 classes of the UCR Medical School residents. Okay, 2 classes. So we're actively training the next generation of physicians that are going to be in this community. And we also, the last thing I want to mention is we have super low physician turnover. Okay, our providers you're not going to see them for a couple years, they're going to disappear. Okay, our over 90% of our providers stick around town and spend their whole careers with Citrus Valley Medical. So if you're looking for great doctors, a group that's got deep ties to the community and surrounded by great staff, managers, Bishop, Dr. Terry Stanford, thank you. Excuse me. He's my chief of operations, incredible guy, and he's been doing wound care. He's a former surgeon, and he's been doing wound care the last 3 years or so. And he's just been, people thanking God for the outcomes that he's giving them through what his practice of wound care. So thanks, Bobby. All right, thank you, everyone. All right, that's my time.
We couldn't do it without our sponsorship, so thank you again, Robbie. So on deck is Chief Newman and Chief Brian Young. And Chief Newman, I got a tough tie on now, okay? Yeah, you guys are on deck, which means he's up now. Okay, so before I bring it up, maybe I didn't even put him in there. I didn't even give him a warning. Thank you, Chief. Before I bring up Councilmember Steiner, I want to thank all of you for being here today. Additionally, I'd like to thank Eco Glenn and their team for getting everything ready. They started Hogarth 30 to get everything together. I also want to thank all the police officers and all the firefighters, the Corona PD Honor Guard, the ambassadors, Saul Shapiro with Living Better 101 and Liberate Debt, Lester Lee with town planner, community calendars. Photographers, Grant Vernancia, Jim Dorsey, and Jim's fill-in, and I don't have his name.
Curtis Bloom.
Thank you, Curtis. Barry E. Knight, TJ Jackson with Rhythm Tech Productions. This guy doesn't sleep, he does everything for us, so it's pretty amazing. And again, to our sponsors. Please be sure to visit everyone at the exhibit booths as you exit today, but it's not over. Here's the meat of our program right now, and this is exactly what I want to do. Before I bring Jim up, I just want to share just the opening of the 9/11 video. As I shared earlier, this week is a special week here in Corona and in America. I've heard from many of you that you each recall every moment that you heard about on the attacks on America. We all watched trying to say this couldn't be true, but it was. As we watch this video and present the next portion of our program, I again thank the men and women as first responders that saved so many lives. And I continue to pray for you and your families and those families that lost loved ones. Many of us pledge never to forget. Please watch this video, and then we'll turn it over to Council Member, former Mayor, retired Captain from the Corona Fire Department, the Honorable Jim Steiner. Watch the video, please.
I was actually street outside my food office, coffee with family, and heard the first thing hit, looked up, so it's small, looked like small, hit on the side of the building, just to the side of the side, the town was so large, it looked like the roof started to fall, and quickly, you started to see all the really, people jumping to the town. I was tiny, jumpers in between, because I wanted to see if this thing would get better, because it like something that would inspire, it was so far up. The fire station just across my room, the super respond. And as I was on the 8% was working on some South Africa firewall, and that's what we were going.
This is as close as we can get to the base of the World Trade Center. You can see the fire in the center here, the police officers at the eye, and you can see the two towers. Huge explosion now, waiting for us.
The force of the towers coming down, demolished, and I found the constant fact that it was just so raining that there was nothing left, and so we found very, very few pigs intact. We had a bunch of informal reviews on our political towers, we don't manage together, we secure and stay secure, that's for making sure that, if our building got hit, stuff will go flying, and we get very, we were the truck dollars about our building. I was very afraid that something happened on our building, it would die low, and so we probably got to make sure that on the top of that, we try to hold it, trying to do what we're trying to do. Started 12 off ships, I was on 60 ship, 8 in the morning, at the beginning of the ship, we sat on the floor, waiting for leads.
Our job was at the conversation, number one, assess it, organize it, identify what potential elements we may collect, human remains, personal items for the families, and also we're looking for the potential items related to the contractors, whether it be notes, personal effects, weapons, and we would assist it first with brakes, shovels, and it would ultimately be on hands and knees looking for the final piece of evidence. It was just challenging as other major crimes like that. You can't find something that's on. That was going to have the wherewithal and the discussions prior to make sure that the city's organized and you're thorough,
or even formal interview, or the one, that kind of goals, right, it's something that that's something so the world. And so at the end of the day, we've lost 14 or 15 agents so far from helping with the cancers from 9/11. And every time I go down to the ground zero, individuals on and off and panels and cheer you into the fire 24/7 for 3 months at least. Because of that, it gave you this great sense of responsibility that you had to do something to try to save the world, because the world was out there being saved.
Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome council member, former mayor, retired captain for Corona Police Department, as I stated before, the honorable, retired. Did I say police? You always got to set higher goals, I guess. The honorable Jim Steiner.
Well, good morning, everybody. It always hurts to watch that video. It is hard to believe that tomorrow's 20 years since the attacks, and I know that most of you in this room can probably remember exactly where you were when you first heard the news or saw some footage. Probably can remember your initial emotions and then the emotions that probably changed over the next few weeks. I was on my second leg of a 72-hour shift, and we were returning from an early morning emergency response to Station 2 on North Main. And as we pulled into the fire station, the battalion chief came out and said, "Hey guys, get in here. A plane just hit the World Trade Center." And we gathered around the TV, and we were confused. We didn't know how did that happen. That's something that doesn't happen every day. And then the second plane hit, and we knew that this was terrorism. So I had to gather up my gear to get to Station 1 to finish the last 24 hours. When I got there, the guys were huddled around the TV, and there were several moments that I remember, images that I remember. One of them, though, was watching people jump from 90-story windows to their death and thinking, how terrified were they to think that that was their best option, to jump from an 80 or 90-story window. And then I thought, about families that had to think about that their loved one was that scared in the final minutes of their life. I just can't digest it. Then I remember firefighters, dozens, by the hundreds, marching up the stairwells with confidence, commitment, compassion, and rescuing hundreds of people before the towers collapsed and killed them all. And it was horrible for all of us to watch nearly 3,000 citizens killed in such a fashion. And then it was kind of a double gut punch for me just to see 343 of my brothers murdered that day. Another thing I remember is this big burly firefighter, big old mustache, he was covered in dust, covered in soot, and he was standing in the rubble right after the collapse. He was calling his mom to let her know that he was okay. And he was crying, and Mom, I'm okay, I'm okay. And it just brought it back, the human touch there, that this is just a regular guy in a really horrible situation who needed to talk with him. And shortly after the collapse, urban search and rescue teams from around the nation were starting to mobilize, and we deployed our regional task force team from the county here, and it consisted of 3 Corona firefighters, something I'm very proud of, that they were part of that effort. As they were being deployed, I know that they were thinking, we're going to get there, we're going to make some rescues. That just wasn't the case. They arrived at the pile, spent about 10 days working alongside FDNY firefighters, and you can imagine, right? So I think one thing that a lot of people don't realize is that there have been hundreds of firefighters and police officers since 9/11 that have died or been forced to retire because of illnesses and injuries that they sustained. There's been thousands, literally thousands, that have been treated for those injuries and related illnesses. And those included primarily many types of cancers, respiratory illnesses, and psychological illnesses. Shortly after things started to kind of somewhat return to normal, I had a buddy who worked for FBI. He transferred over to FBI Rescue 1 in Manhattan. I think they lost 11 members just from that station alone. And he would update me regularly that he had texted me, lost another brother today. Sometimes it was 2 or 3 a week. Sometimes it was a couple of months, but this went on for a few years. And they lost another brother from the illnesses that they sustained from the incident. I want to thank the Chamber, Bobby, all for living up to your commitment of never forgetting. It's admirable. It's important to first responders. It's important to me. So thank you very much. And to our first responders, I want you guys to know that I appreciate you very, very much. Some of you are going to be recognized even as a firefighter of the year, police officer of the year. I know how difficult that is to do. And how much effort goes into being recognized by your peers for that recognition. I know so many police officers, firefighters in the city that are worthy of being recognized as police officer and firefighter of the year every year because they set that bar so high every single day. So I want you guys to know that whether I'm a citizen or an elected official, I know what you've done, I know what you do, and I know what you're willing to do, and I always have your back. Thank you.
Only Jim Steiner could share that type of a story. Now I'm going to shift, and again, Jim said, the firefighter and the police officer of the year, there are so many great things that we have in our departments, the individuals, the leadership. And speaking of leadership, I again want to applaud our council members for you to be here today, but also for you not to take on what the nation is doing with the movement and defunding different things. In fact, you guys have added more police officers and more firefighting equipment. Great community it is. I'm going to first bring up Chief Newman. He embraced the Corona community since his family moved here in 1975. He joined the Corona Police Department as a police officer in August of 1995. Worked on a variety of assignments as an officer, including gangs, special response team, which is the SWAT, and Flex. He is a graduate of the Sherman Block Leadership Institute, holds a master's certificate from California Peace Officer Standards, and blah, 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 blah. And so, but he officially became the police chief earlier this year. Again, thanks to these 5 council members that made some wise decisions, along with our city manager. And then Chief Young, I'm bringing both of them up, right? Yes, okay. And I'm going to introduce Chief Young. He joined the Corona Fire Department in 2018 after 20 years of service with the Orange County Fire Authority, which he oversaw 17 fire stations servicing 23 cities and unincorporated areas. He's educated beyond belief, and in fact, he's still in that program. He told me the other day, so he's pretty awesome. But whenever the city declares an emergency, the fire chief becomes the director of emergency services for the city. And boy, did he ever rise to the occasion this last year. Ladies and gentlemen, it would be an honor if you've been sitting for a while. Get on your feet and acknowledge our chiefs, Chief Newman and Chief Young.
First of all, I want to thank Bobby and the Chamber for acknowledging public safety and really making a strong partnership between
our city, not just our public safety groups, but the entire city and our business community. It's been a really outstanding relationship. So thank you to Bobby and the chamber for that. I'd also like to thank our council. I want to echo Bobby's sentiments. It's been incredible. We have a very close relationship for, I'll speak for myself, but I'm pretty sure I can speak for Chief Young as well, that it's unusual where you have such solid support from our council. So thank you very much for your support of public safety and our priority for our community safety. So 2020, we're gonna do a little pivot from our 9/11 tribute. I know Chief Young and I will both be at tomorrow's event in the chamber, so we're gonna save some of our words for that event, for the memorial. But 2020 was obviously a very difficult year for everyone. In a society that we really thrive on face-to-face contact, we were isolated. It really kind of put people in their little shells, a lot of fear, a lot of anxiety, and from the police world, that created a significant increase in mental health calls for distress. In 2020, we responded as a police department to 500 episodes of mental health crisis. I have Officer Edgar Castaneda here next to me. So if we could put Edgar's slide up there and take my mug off, thank you. Much better. So Officer Edgar Castaneda is a 20-year veteran of our law enforcement community. I think he's been with us for 18 years and served in the Sheriff's Department for a couple years before that. He is currently a school resource officer assigned to Lee Pollard and Orange Grove High Schools. So Edgar was on patrol on September 15th, 2020, when he responded to a such call of a mental health, a woman experiencing an episode of mental health crisis. Now keep in mind, I'm going to tell you about one of Edgar's saves, but within a 6-month or year period, this is his third, where he really rescued and saved people's lives. So I'm going to tell you about one of those. On September 15th, he responded to a distraught female who was hanging on the overpass of the Lincoln 91 overpass bridge. She was obviously upset, having a mental health episode, and Officer Castaneda was the first on scene. He immediately saw the woman, went to her, began establishing a rapport with her, and one of his additional assignments outside of patrol is he's part of our crisis negotiation team. And because of that training and experience, this woman was very fortunate that she had an officer like Edgar showed up, showed compassion, empathy, and really established that strong bond through patience and calming demeanor to talk with her. It was immediately noticed by other officers who arrived on scene that she had a drastic change in her emotional and physical kind of temperament. Meanwhile, this whole time she's hanging on the overpass, on the outside of a chain link fence over the 91 freeway. So after a short period of time of communication between Officer Castaneda and this female, he was able to convince her to take his hand, climb back over the fence, and basically let us provide her the service that she desperately needed. If it were not for Officer Castaneda's swift response, his ability to have, just the proper communication, the tone, the patience, and the empathy, this could have been a tragic situation, not only for that female, but for a number of passing motorists on the 91 freeway, which could have been really a horrible situation. So for his calming presence and his empathy, and his third real rescue for the year, Officer Castaneda was recognized as our Corona Police Department's 2020 Field Services Officer of the Year. So,
You can recognize by the department, but we wanted the business community to be able to honor you, so Kim is going to present this award to you. If you can turn it around, we'll get a picture with the three of you.
Probably several pictures.
Let's give another round of applause to our police officers. He was very shy. They're never shy when they pull me over, though. Autographs on my stage. Please welcome Chief Young.
So first and foremost, thank you to the chamber, obviously, and then every organization, business, and individual that makes this such an amazing thing to be part of. So super excited to be here. And thank you for recognizing your public safety teams. Obviously, we get a lot of attention, a lot of positive focus in the media, but to have the business community as a whole recognize us as two public safety teams is greatly appreciated. And specifically, thank you for recognizing the Corona Fire Department Firefighter of the Year. As Chief Newman kind of briefly touched on, 2020, when I hear that word, I kind of cringe. What a roller coaster of a year. Nobody was not impacted in some way, shape, or form. But obviously, I'm incredibly proud of the men and women of the Corona Fire Department, how they rose to the challenge and responded to all of the significant impacts that we experienced from COVID, and constantly pivoting. Each and every one of you as business owners know what I'm talking about when I say pivot. Well, that correlates also to public safety, how we deliver services, what decisions we have to make, how we handle everything. Remember early on how we did things was nothing like how we're handling it now. So that constant evolution is a testament to men and women of the Corona Fire Department. So the crazy part about this is we're dealing with this pandemic, and we have hundreds and hundreds of sick citizens in our community that are impacted by it. We lost countless lives in our community from COVID. While all this is going on, we also had another significant record-breaking wildland fire season. You recall the two large fires that we had just in our region, Blue Ridge, as well as the airport fire. All this in the middle of the pandemic. So unfortunately, with this as a context, no one was truly exempt from the wonders of 2020. And in fact, our 2020 Firefighter of the Year recipient is not with us here today because he's battling COVID. So fortunately, due to his vaccination status, he's recovering rather well and has minimal impact. So we should be back to do very quickly. So the Corona Firefighter of the Year, change the slide, is Fire Captain Paramedic Rick Stone. So we can initially thank Rick's mom, I think, for being part of this solution. A little story Rick told me, but his background is the day he applied for Corona Fire Department was the same day that another department was also recruiting. So he said, well, what do I do? So he decided to come to Corona himself, and he also decided to send his mom to the other department to get an application. That tells me there was a pencil mark on that application that said, Mommy picked up application. So lo and behold, you're fortunate enough to get working with us here. So the reason that Rick's being recognized for the Corona Fire Department Firefighter 2020 is his incredible work on our technical rescue program. And being part of the technical rescue program, as Jim Steiner mentioned, correlates to being part of a FEMA task force member oftentimes. So there's only 28 national FEMA task forces that handle urban search and rescue. Rick's part of that task force, and that knowledge, skills, and experience has brought forward a lot of positive effects to our department. Most specifically, is Rick was instrumental, if not the key player, in standing up our swiftwater rescue team to the point it is today. So the hard work and dedication that Rick put in, that he will be the first to tell you, was not solely his. It was all of his skilled people he works with. It was the support of his amazing wife and beautiful daughters behind the scenes that ultimately brought us to the point where now Corona Fire Department has a
Office of Emergency Services, soon to be recognized type swiftwater rescue resource. So we're no longer reliant on waiting for people to come in and provide us that incredible, important resource. In the last couple of years, we had a lot of droughts, but we also had some really bad rain seasons, right? Remember some of the flooding that transpired, and Rick's training and program was instrumental in saving countless lives in flooding situations and their dogs. So positive output from him. It's all based on his dedication. Ultimately, his love for the fire department here in Corona, and we all know that that is all directly tied to serving the citizens of our great city. So it's my honor to recognize Fire Captain Paramedic Rick Stone as Corona Fire's firefighter of the year.
Right. That the chamber also recognized over the years. If you could please stand if you received any recognition from the chamber, any of the officers and firefighters, they're gonna be real shy. How about if we can just have all the officers and firefighters stand so we can show our love and support? Thank you, chiefs. Thank you, and we acknowledge those individuals that you recognize, and again, each person that served on your department could have taken that position as the police officer or firefighter of the year. As I start to close things out, remember, if you hashtag Corona Chamber, you can get $100, but TJ gave, so here's $100 for me, but TJ also gave me $100. So there's still time if you do it real quick. We'll have to do this last closing part about tomorrow. We could definitely use your help. And there's a flyer out here. We're looking if anyone would like to be sponsors. But again, it is free for you to attend, but if you feel compelled to be a sponsor, we'd love to acknowledge you as that sponsorship. And I just want to, again, just say that tomorrow is about continuing with the pledge that we have stated, never to forget. This is going to be something that we want you to come, bring the family, bring your grandkids, bring your neighbors, tell your workers at your offices to bring their families. I want to acknowledge Cindy Monroe is in the house here. She's helped me tremendously on putting this together, so thank you, Cindy. And I also, since the city council's here, there's a young man by the name of Jason Lass in the community services, which I call Parks and Recreation. But Jason has been just a godsend and such a great representative for the city and working with us on this program. So again, I'm just going to mention, if any of you would like to put the flags together with us from 10 o'clock till about 4 at the chamber today. If you want to get up really early, I'll have some donuts at 5 in the morning and we can start laying out some of the flags, but at 7 we'll be putting those in the ground. If you want to help tonight, see Mark Lees standing over there. And then at 8:15, we start the official program. We would love to have it back. We really would. So on behalf of the chamber, I want to thank you so much for being here. We've got a door prize. We've got a winner ticket for the women's conference, as well as a chocolate truck donated by Waste Management. And as they're coming up to do that, and I'm about ready to give out 2 different people for $100 each. Is that okay? Stephanie, figure it out. Come on up here so you can make that announcement. I want to remind you that next month, our monthly membership networking breakfast, Good Morning Corona, will be on Friday, October 15th. We have the pleasure of having Congressman Ken Calvert here. Ken is a homegrown kid here. He's lived here all his life, with the exception of the last couple of decades when he's been in Washington, D.C., representing us. But he has brought more dollars to this community and the region. He's an excellent representative. He will be here with the congressional update. And there's a lot of information going on from DC that we need to hear about. Our sponsors right now are Corona Regional Medical Center, as well as Western Municipal Water District. Yeah, give them a round of applause. You know, if we have 2 sponsors, we get 3 or 4 sponsors. We've got plenty of room for sponsorships. You can have a display table. See Stephanie for those opportunities. That is October 15th. So with that, I'm not drawing. I'm not going to do that. So who's drawing? What's this for? For the chocolate truck from Waste Management. And the winner is Samantha Toynbee, Samantha at Tradition Online, Traditions, did they leave? Did Samantha leave? Is she here? She left. You be sure and tell her that she could have won, okay? And thank you for your honesty. You drove all the way out from Glendale this morning, right? God bless you and thank you for being part of our chamber. Sorry that Samantha didn't get in. So one more. M and J Pallet. Are they still here? Yes, good. Okay. Thank you. Thank you, Waste Management, for that. This is for this drawing here, and this is from the Mighty Ducks.
Ducks?
Mighty Ducks.
Doc,
Yeah, like Robbie Nelson, like his company.
yeah.
Okay,
Like Jim's doctor.
like Jim's doctor. There you go. And thank you for taking care of it. Be Well Pharmaceutical. Be well. Come on up. Yeah, we can announce the two $100 winners.
Do you want to draw for the Women's Conference ticket too?
Oh, the conference ticket, thank you. And this will be, there it is. Thank you. Grace Clark. Grace, are you still here? Awesome. So the Women's Leadership Conference. Okay, so the first $100 goes to.
Okay, so we checked Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter, and we had a lot of people enter, including one of our at-home participants on Zoom today. So that was super exciting. The first $100 prize goes to Lester Lee.
Lester Lee. Come on down.
And our second winner is Kim Avon.
Kim Avon. On behalf of the chamber and on behalf of the board of directors, we want to thank you so much for being here today. We're officially adjourned, but listen, let's give a round of applause again to the police and fire. God bless you. God bless you.